fog and the sheeting. So there are 6 different commands here. Return, obviously, return to the fight. The wing profile. Well, let me do wing maneuver first, since I've got such a bad thread fall. In fact, let me go get a different thread fall for you, because I'm taking a beating on this one. So let me put up a different thread fall. So as you can see in this one, the weir is prepared for attack. The winds are light. It's still a sheeting fall. So let's see how this one does. So as I said, you click and hold your for to enter a command. You have to click and hold it because of the way the code is written. So the wing profile, this is like the character profile from the 1x version of Threadfall, where in 1x you could only look at a single rider. This one you look at the entire wing. You click the wing that you want to see, and there's the wing. There's the morale, fatigue, experience, health, and dragon health, so you can see how they're doing. It's especially nice after someone gets injured, to see if somebody needs to have their status changed. The Firestone run. Now remember I told you that the S column is for if someone needs Firestone. So if someone needs Firestone, a little F will appear right here, and what you'll do is you'll click the Firestone run. Now if they need Firestone, they're going to have a harder time catching thread, so you absolutely want to send somebody out to replenish the Firestone. So you'll click Firestone run. You'll choose you'll choose who you want to whose wing you want to send it to. So we'll pick mine, wing 0, and then who you want to do the run. The runners are always the weirlings. You want to choose someone with a high training level, because the lower their training level, the more of a chance they'll get injured, possibly die, and the lower the training level, the higher the training level, the better chance that they'll complete the run. See, not only can they be injured, not only can they die, they can also complete the run or not complete the run. If they get injured and die, they can still complete. They can complete the Firestone run, deliver the Firestone, and still get injured or killed. So those are two separate things. So I'm going to choose Chet to go and do it. See? Oh, see? So he delivered the he delivered the Firestone, because it'll say run incomplete if he didn't. He was able to deliver the Firestone, but he was injured and killed. So I lost a weirling out of that. And once you deliver the Firestone, that little F right there will disappear. Transfer Dragon Riders works exactly the same way as it does from the main menu. All the same rules apply. You can't transfer a rider from you can't transfer a wing rider to wing rider of the same wing. You can't transfer the weir leader. You can't transfer a weirling who has too low of a training level, and you can't transfer a weirling to rank stats. You can't promote a rank stats. He's got to become a weir. Got to be a wing rider, and weirlings have to transfer into a vacant spot. Other than that, you can transfer everyone around to make up the wings that you need. Very useful, especially when you start getting injuries and you need to fill holes. I mean, maybe you need to set this wing off as a reserve and free flight, and just have that your injured, your benched wing, so you can just move your really injured riders into that wing, so they're not taking up space, and you can have a wing without any holes in it or things like that. So Transfer Dragon Rider works very exactly the same way as it does from the main menu. So see, I'll try and transfer character 5, and I'll move him to character 6. There, see, nothing won't allow me, but it will allow me to change it, character 5 to character 15. There you go. So as you can see, they've changed now. See, there's character 5, character 15. Change it back to full. Adjective. Okay, see, there's adjective and default. So there's your transfer. Remember, their experience goes down when they go into different wings. Their experience goes down when they get promoted. Their experience goes up when they get demoted. And of course, the morale is affected, promotions, demotions, all sorts of things like that. Remember that your weirlings, they do lose a lot of experience when being transferred into a fighting wing. So be aware of that. Generally, you kind of don't want to send weirlings into a fighting wing, because they're just not going to have enough experience to really be a benefit to you. But you need to. I mean, I've done it, so maybe you want to do it too. Status change. This also that you can this has a very limited. This is just like the assign Dragon Rider from the main menu, except you're limited what you can do. See here, you can only do regular duty, restrict to weir, ground dragon, and regular duty dragon. So you can only weir them or bring them back to duty. You can't give them other assignments like weir second or watch rider or anything like that. It's just these these things. And finally, the wing maneuver. The wing maneuver, remember, these each affect a different attribute. This one will affect your fatigue, this one will affect your injury, and this will affect your success rate. And you can augment or downgrade each of these. If you want, if you don't want your wings getting to be too fatigued, you can increase that. You can increase their fatigue attribute, so they don't get as fatigued. If you don't want them as injured, you can fix that here. And if you want more success at catching thread, you can augment this one. Now, it's not that simple, of course, because whatever you augment something, you have to downgrade something. So if you want more success at catching thread, you're going to have to accept more fatigue or more injuries. So if you want fewer injuries, you're going to have to accept more fatigue or less success at catching thread. So this is where you're kind of watching your wind, weather, and fall. So when you got dense fog, maybe you want to augment the injury so they're not getting injured as much. If it's heavy winds, maybe you want to augment their fatigue so they're not getting fatigued as much. If you got some nice wind and weather, maybe you want to increase the success rate and accept a little more fatigue or injury. So here we're gonna augment the success rate, and I'm going to accept more fatigue. So as you can see, this gives you a little clue, as a little reminder, because you're never going to remember up, sweep, V, staggered down. What the heck does that mean? So this tells you fatigue -1, success +1, augment injury, downgrade fatigue. So now here's injury +1. Now we're down fatigue -2. You can upgrade or downgrade each attribute 4 times. So the lowest this will go is F -4. So let's do it again. Let's see, F -3, success rate, fatigue, F -4. Let's try and do it again. Augment injury, downgrade fatigue. Nope, cannot downgrade further. So like I said, you can only go down 4 or up by 4. So here, thrusting, left wing, veer. So there's actually there's actually a maneuver called crossover. For if you remember Dragonrider of Pern, that it talks about the crossover wing maneuver. So they really kind of read the books when they put this game together. So one other thing. In version, I don't think these little reminders appeared until version 1.3. So I know if you have 1.1, maybe if you have 1.2, you're not going to get these little reminders. So definitely get the later versions. There's one other thing you can do here that's not listed on this command menu, is that you can change the level that your wings are flying on. Remember, there's 3 different levels that your thread can fall, 3, 2, 1, and this here says what level your wings are on. So it's kind of obvious by now. Click the left caret to drop them a level, 3, 2, 1, and free flight, and the right arrow to bring them up and down. Maybe you want to keep your most experienced wing or your wing of green dragons on level 1. That way this is your last chance level and you want to keep your best wing for that. Or maybe you want to spread them out, some of 3, some of 2, some of 1, because remember, you only get so many chances for the computer to find a wing at that level before it'll just pick somebody at random. So your choice. I generally keep a lot of wings at level 3 and just keep 1 wing at level 1 or 1 or 2 wings. So it just depends on your style of play. I haven't found the magic number of where I need to sort my wings out. That's the best way in order to fight thread. So your guess is as good as mine. There's one other thing you got to know about version 2.0 or the 2.x games. The longer you take on this menu, meaning the longer you're not fighting thread but playing around with this menu, the bigger penalty you're going to suffer when it comes to catching thread. And the reason behind that is so you don't sit here forever stopping the clock thinking about your choices. It really wants you to go, get in there, give your command, and get out there. Know there's a penalty, and it's a diminishing penalty. The longer you fight thread, the less the penalty would be. There is a maximum penalty, so if you sit here for 2 minutes, you're not going to get 1,000 points of penalty that you have to eventually work off. I think it does stop. I don't know where it stops at, but it's not too draconian, but it is there and you will notice it. So don't spend a lot of time. You do get a little free time if you get in there really fast, a couple of seconds, get in there, give your command, get out, you're okay. But once you start spending some time in there, then you're going to start feeling that penalty. So just get in there, get your command, and get out. So We should get some nice success rate. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the end of threadfall. So let me go and get that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of fighting thread, I'm going to auto-calculate. In fact, let me show you what an auto-calculate looks like. So in this game, I've set this as Weirling difficulty level, so everybody should be holding me in very high regard or really close to it, so this way hopefully you'll be able to see some of the effect of how threadfall goes. So now we're going to go into threadfall. There's threadfall. Here are my wings. We're unprepared for the attack. Great. So now I'm going to, so this should be a really bad threadfall, so you really should see this effect. So I'm going to auto calculate. You can see this goes pretty fast, especially since we're kind of like early into the passage. Two have already gotten through. You see the wind and the weather. You notice the wing maneuver is gone, the level is gone, and the computer is not that great of a thread fighter. Plus I'm really low on fatigue and experience. So oh, I lost a wing leader. You can see down at the bottom of the screen, people are dying. See, I've got a lot of casualties. I've got 8 casualties and 12 grounded thread. This was not a good thread fall. So metal hold. Let's say, remember, everybody was almost everybody was at holding me in high regard. So let's take a look at what that was. Metal hold. Okay, let's go take a look. Metal hold. See, I got a lot of dead people. Metal hold. See, he's indifferent to me. So I lost 3 points. Let's go take a look at my weir women. Despises me. Now remember, she held me in high regard, so I did not do well. Here's some of the weir leaders holds me in disdain. So this was not a good thread fall. Too many dead people, too much grounded thread. So as you can see, I really did not do very well with this thread fall. So yeah, see, I really did bad. So anyway, that is how you play the Dragonriders of Pern fan-made game version 2.0. There may be other versions out there. I think there are. I'm not sure. Most likely you have version 1.1 or maybe 1.2. Go and find version 2.0. It's a lot different. It's a lot better. All those complaints about the interface, they've been taken care of. Now it's a mouse. The screen is all different and everything like that. It's really a fun game. It's a really in-depth game. You know, read the little dialogues from the Dragonrider Conclave. They're kind of fun to look at. So let me know in the comments if you find this game. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. You know, it'd be great if this was still being developed. You know, this is kind of like the game that Epix would have made if it had the memory, but you know, back then the Atari game, the Atari, it didn't have that much memory. I think the Atari 400 was working on, was it 8K or 16K? The 800 could be expanded up to 16K, I think, or was it 64 or 48? I know the Atari 130XE, that was 128K, but it used RAM banks. Anyway, this is the game. Let me know what you think about it. I really like it. I do play it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I still do play the Epix game. I don't have the board game anymore, but it's a lot of fun, and I really recommend it.